It's the Empowerment Perspective Radio Show, hosted by Demiso Josie, Kareem Spence, and Miss Stacy Sanderson Dick. Stay empowered. Stay empowered.
Well, all right. Welcome to yet another edition of the Empowerment Perspective Radio Show. I go by the name of Demiso Josie alongside
Spencer's here.
and
Stacy Sanderson.
we have the whole crew back in the building.
Yes.
Oh, welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're back. How was the Hamptons?
The Hamptons was wonderful,
Champagne,
man.
sipping, caviar, eating.
Gift given?
Nah, I ain't giving no gift.
Oh,
man.
come on.
I'm not doing that.
Let me ask you this. Was your presence the gift? Because sometimes
That's
I feel
it.
that way when I show up at
I
places.
told you, man, I spent over a G just getting there between the rental car. And I didn't even stay up there. You know, the rental car, the traveling, the gas.
Okay.
The kids stopping at McDonald's every 5 minutes.
Did they hit you with, are we here yet?
Oh, yeah, they did that. I was pulling out my driveway, and they was like, yo, we there yet, Dad?
You should have pulled right back in. He said, that's right. We're at the Hamptons right now. Daddy spent a lot of money to be here.
Nah, but big shout out to them. They're actually coming down. I got family out there in the Hamptons. They're coming down, I believe, next week, 2 weeks. We're doing a big birthday party at the crib for all our aunts and
So
uncles.
they're leaving the Hamptons to come here.
They come down here to invade my house.
So don't ask them to bring anything, though.
Nah, don't bring anything. It's
Okay.
fine. And that's
No,
why.
you should be having them bring stuff.
That's why I didn't give them anything, because I knew I was hosting this party.
All right,
We're
here's the
talking
thing.
about like 80
All right.
people.
All right, stop at Junior's, bring some cheesecake.
Some
On your-
cheesecake
yeah.
on the way back.
You got to drive through Brooklyn anyway, so bring some
Makes
cheesecake.
sense to me. Well, I got to take a personal story.
This is about the pickle juice?
No, it's not about the pickle juice. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. It's not about the pickle juice, but it has something to do with the gym.
Okay.
Okay, now, I'm going to start this conversation by saying I'm not a morning person. So you're not supposed to talk to me at 5 o'clock in the morning when I'm at the gym.
Gotcha.
Don't get on the elliptical next to me and try to have a conversation, because it tells me that you ain't working hard enough.
Gotcha.
I should be out of breath. Don't be talking to me while I'm on the elliptical.
Okay.
So, two things happen. I go in there, and there's a shoulder day. You know, I'm doing the circuit, so I'm hitting up the shoulders, and I see this big old muscle-bound dude on like the universal machine. So I was like, all right, cool. Hit the next machine. I'm working my way down. Mind you, him and his partner still on the universal.
Okay.
I get to the third machine. He was like, yo, I'm on that machine.
Whoa. What do you mean, like, yo?
Yeah,
You
like
use the word yo?
He said, "Yo, I'm on that machine."
Ooh.
I said, first of all, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to talk to nobody, and you talking to me right now. Now he's swole dude, and I said,
Okay.
"Yo, you ain't even on that machine right now." He
Okay.
said, "But I'm about to be on that machine."
He's about to be on
said-
it. Did you say, I'm about to pop my trunk?
I'm like, listen, you gotta be glad it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to talk to you right now. Go ahead, have the machine. It ain't that deep for me.
I
Go
don't
ahead
know.
and have it.
I want to hear his opinion on that.
I-
Would you have
I
just
don't-
given up the
listen,
machine?
It's 5 o'clock in the morning, so I'm already aggravated.
Right.
Have I given up the machine? No, I may have broke the machine so nobody can use it. Nobody's going to use the machine. How about that?
You gonna sweat on it and don't wipe it down?
You heard what they said in the movie with Eddie Murphy. You're not supposed to let nobody take your cornbread. I don't even care if you're not going to eat your cornbread. Nobody takes the cornbread. Nobody uses the machine.
I was like, listen, you go ahead and have it. So I let him have the machine, and then I go on the elliptical, right? So I'm getting on the elliptical, and I'm a competitive person. So the guy gets on at the same time. Not the same guy, a different guy this
Okay.
time. So I'm getting there. I see him going up to level 2. So I'm put my joint up to level 2. And you go up to level 3. Now we going back and forth, right? Now I'm like 15, 20 minutes deep. I'm like on level 8 right now, and I see him tiring down.
Okay.
Just to prove a point, I stayed on the machine an extra 10 minutes. Just to prove a
So
point.
you almost died on the machine.
Did he know he was competing against you?
I have no idea, but I pulled my hamstring in the middle of doing all that.
You got a soft tissue injury, all because you had a point to prove.
I had a point to prove.
On the elliptical
I figured
machine.
I got punked on the shoulder machine, so I had to prove
So
a point.
you're not
on
talking
the
about doing squats.
No.
You're not doing the chest press.
Nah,
This
nah.
is the elliptical.
I put that
easy
joker.
on the joints.
I put that joker up as high as I possibly could, as hard as I could. I'm sweating.
So you're not even actually moving the machine. The machine is actually
It's
moving you
moving me
at
at
this
this point. Yes.
That
So
is
people are like, "Why you walking funny the next day?"
because you didn't have no pickle juice. That's exactly why.
What is the deal with this pickle juice?
Listen, last night we were talking to a mixologist, right? And when we get to we places, we just start talking to people about random things. And she said she drinks pickle juice. Now, I can't fathom in my mind, somebody just going ahead and just taking pickle juice to drink it. Like you can have Kool-Aid, you can have water, you can have iced tea, but pickle juice? No, you're not supposed to be drinking vinegar.
It's supposed to. It might have helped me with my pulled
Prob-
hamstring.
Yep, it's supposed to help with
You
cramping.
heard of pickle juice before?
Yeah, it's the football players were drinking it on the sidelines a few years ago when they were cramping up.
Why'd he stop?
I don't know.
Because it don't work.
Probably, but they were trying it.
So you're talking about these multi-million-dollar athletes.
Let's clear this up. We're talking about Eagles. They were the ones that were doing it.
Eagles are drinking.
Now all of a sudden
pickle
he's heard
juice.
about it though.
I definitely heard about it. I wasn't drinking no
We
pickle
had to do
juice.
some more research.
We gotta
all
do-
right. We got Sergio here. Sergio, you got to, okay, you're a trainer. And bring us up to speed with this pickle juice. What is the phenomenon about this pickle juice?
Well, at least for me, when I use the pickle juice, I use it like when we're going out partying. Like, all right, let's get some shots in. You drink. You take a couple shots of vodka, take a couple shots of pickle juice. You feel nice and good. But trainer wise, yeah, I heard the same thing. It was more for like cramping, making sure like everything that way, or it helps you like clear your urine as well. That's what I thought.
Let's go back to the drinking part. Like, does it help you not get intoxicated?
It's not that it helps you get intoxicated. It takes that alcoholic. It takes the alcohol taste out of it.
All right,
So you're
Like,
telling
clears
me
your
now,
palate.
because I want to bring it back to the Philadelphia Eagles, that the Philadelphia Eagles on the sideline drinking shots of pickle juice.
They were.
and chasing it with some
And Chase
Jameson.
So that's the key to win the Super Bowl.
That makes perfectly good sense to me.
Okay,
now, the pickle
that's
juice.
rational. I guess it's rational.
So should I be taking my gym experience personal?
Yeah. I think that you probably just pulled up your car and popped the trunk and said, "Listen, man, I ain't about to have this conversation. I got daughters, but we can do it two ways. Either we can handle this like some men, or we can get to some gangster stuff. Which way you want it?"
Listen, just like the disclaimer before the show, the views of Mr. Petty does not necessarily align with the views of Demiso Josie. I can't speak for Stacy right now, but I do not advocate any violence whatsoever.
So
I'm a
is that what we're
peaceful
gonna start doing now? We're gonna put out our own personal disclaimers against each other?
man. Yes, I guess that's what we're gonna have to start doing. Oh my goodness! Now, Stacy, you said your daughter's out there right now playing soccer,
Yeah, she just wrapped up her first game.
and tell me about this game. 'Cause we're talking about these nets and no goalies and all other stuff, and they still was missing a goal.
Yeah,
What's
last
going
year
on?
for U6, they were first timers, most of them.
So-
and they were out there. They didn't have a goalie, and it was a smaller net. And they scored. Sometimes they missed.
I can't.
I know you can't wrap your head around
Is
that.
this technically soccer if they don't have a goalie?
No.
That's like surgery. It's like
No.
baseball without a catcher.
Yeah, honestly.
It's
Well,
impossible.
T-ball,
man.
you're playing without a pitcher. It's like that introductory
But it's
league.
T-ball. You don't call it baseball.
But here's the other thing. When you're playing T-ball, if you strike out, listen, you need not play at
On
all.
the tee, if you strike out on the tee.
Do not play if you strike out with a T. Absolutely. Something is really wrong with your kid if they're striking out playing T-ball.
Listen, man.
The T got 5 Ks against one guy.
The wind might have knocked the ball off the tee. You know, he might have swung and missed. I don't
He
know.
swung, missed, and fell down at the same time.
Yeah.
Probably.
At the same time.
And the ball is still there.
So Sergio, you're a baseball. I'm gonna call you a baseball guru, right?
Okay.
So what is the advantage of it makes sense to me, but our audience may not know the advantages of starting out with the T-ball.
I feel like so for T-ball, it's actually great because even if you're like older, you should still hit off the tee. But for T-ball, is getting that aspect of just getting your hand-eye coordination, knowing where the ball is, being able to put it right there, being able to put your bat to the ball. That's the most important part. If you can't put your bat to the ball, there's no way you're ever going to hit a ball. So growing up, like you myself to this day, I still hit off a tee. Every time I start off in the batting cage, I hit off the tee. I don't go on a pitching machine at first. I don't try to get live pitching. I go right off the tee and try to see how far I can hit it. It helps your mechanics out. It helps you be able to get your front foot down, making squashing the bug, turning your hips, making sure you're getting to a good lane to the ball. Instead of pulling it or going opposite field, you're going right up the middle. So that's why I think a lot of people don't understand how important tee work is. And I think T-ball is awesome. But once you get a kid that's actually good on the T-ball and is hitting it outside of the outfield, then you can just move them up. There's a lot of 8-year-olds that can play 9 and 10U, but they still keep them in 8U, which makes no sense. But
Now, Mr. Petty, you seem very passionate about
Listen, I love baseball.
the T-ball thing.
Well-
Were you the one that missed the ball and struck out back then?
Listen, I'll say this, right? I remember the very first time that they allowed me to do a practice on the infield. So they let me hit the ball to the infield. I was so excited, right, that I could not hit the ball. Now, I would toss the ball up, and I could not hit the ball. I was so excited. And I didn't realize how tough that was as a coach to be able to hit the ball in the infield, especially when you want to hit it on the ground and it goes in the air. So I can understand how the kids really get upset when they miss the ball because it happens. It happens to the best of us.
So you're coaching and you're sitting there trying to throw the ball up in the air and you keep missing.
Listen, it is really tough hand-eye coordination to throw the ball up, right, and then be able to hit it. Then the kids are looking at you like, I don't even know why you're out here because you can't hit the ball either. How you going to coach me and you can't hit the ball? What kind of person are you?
You got to bust out the tee.
Huh?
You're going to have to bust out the tee.
And I'll take you guys back. So my when I was 12, I played in an all-star game. Right, we had our first all-star practice, and I'm excited, trying to impress all the coaches. Listen, and I have no idea why they continued to let me hit because I couldn't hit nothing this day. Absolutely nothing. So they let me up there, and I want to say that I had probably a 34-inch bat that they finally gave me to be able to make contact. They let me take batting practice every bit of 15 minutes. And I'm guessing they talking to other kids like, this is what you're not supposed to do. But they kept throwing the ball, and it didn't matter where they put it at.
That
I kept missing
disclaimer's
it.
followed him from T-ball all the way up to now, right?
That was a rough tryout for the All-Star team. I made it, but it was rough. And they put me in right field.
Last night we talked about the difference between coaching and training. Sergio, can you break that down for our audience? What's the difference between the two?
So for myself, I consider myself an instructor over a coach. So I always tell people that instructor is more one-on-one, or you have a maybe group of 4 or 5 kids that you coach with at the same time, teaching them very similar mindsets. A coach is more of, hey, let's put a lineup together, let's get on the field, let's hit some ground balls, let's see who I got to switch in and out. But for instructing, I feel that you really have to have a good knowledge of the game, and actually be able to sit there and explain to my I consider my kids students of the game. So I had my clinic this morning, my catching clinic, and I sit there and I stop my class and I'm like, hey, how do we block a baseball? Somebody explain to me how you block a baseball. So I'm having my kids go through it, and they're like, do you do it? Is it this way? And I'm like, why should you guys explain it back to me? They're like, we don't know. I'm like, it's baseball IQ. You guys got to understand how to play. You guys got to understand where you're headed. So if you guys ever go to see your parents are good, paying good money. But like, what did you learn today? Oh, we did the T drill with Sergio. Oh, what's the T drill? And they can be able to explain it to their parents. So their parents are like, oh, I'm getting my money's worth. But they're actually learning.
Right.
And they're getting better, so they can instruct or they can coach better growing up that way. So that's, I think, the difference between an instructor and a coach is that somebody has very good knowledge of the game and is able to critique and show you exactly what you're doing wrong, but be able to fix it. So you're a better ball player in the long run.
Right. And now that you say that, kind of makes sense. And I'm using a parallel in my professional life is that I'm an administrator, which technically is a coach. But what the Empowerment Perspective Group does is that we do professional development. So we are the training of those educators as well. While we're there, Mr. Spence, can you break down what is the Empowerment Perspective Group? Because I'm getting all these, what is exactly do you guys do?
Well, we do a whole lot. I'll start and I'll really simplify it so that it'll be easy for people to understand. More important than anything, what we attempt to do is to empower and inspire other people to be able to go out and do great things. We try to position ourselves and be able to talk to other people that are doing great things in the community. Why? Because we want more people to do great things in the community. We're trying to change the scope of media, mainly with educators, because as soon as an educator make one mistake, we on the news. But let an educator do something great, and they just look at you like, you all right.
It's crickets.
Yeah, do it again.
Yeah.
Like Biggie said, do it again. Then you go platinum again.
That's funny.
So for us, we're just out trying to change the scope of the media and really just to celebrate educators. Go on the road, talk to some educators, help them be able to work with students that can be at times challenging. Because I know that I'm still a challenge for many people, including my peers.
That is true. Just to give a perfect example, we had Frankie on last week, and she was interested in having a position in the media, so I invited her on. And through the contacts that we had now, she's able to contact, she actually is in talks with a lady from ABC about a job. So
that's awesome.
It's about empowering people. And at the end of the day, this radio show, the podcast, the speaking engagements, those are just the vehicles that we are about, trying to get our message out there. So that's what the Empowerment Perspective is about. So we can talk about sports, we can talk about politics, we can talk about anything, and hopefully get you the correct information. So on this show today, we have a mix. So we got Sergio here. We want to celebrate him too. We're going to make a major announcement in a second about what he got going on. So we're going to talk to him, and then later on in the show, we have Teen Sharp on.
Yeah, Tatiana's, we have a call in.
We have a call in. So Sergio, you're leaving us.
Yes.
Where are you going and what are you doing?
So I will be moving to Miami, Florida on Tuesday. I will be working for Amazon. I'm going to be a talent supply chain coordinator with Amazon. So basically, I'll be a recruiter recruiting for some of the warehouse jobs or entry-level jobs, going out to high schools and some colleges to recruit and give some people some work. So the good thing about it is, big reason why they picked me up is because I was a college recruiter. So if they wanted me to be able to reach out to high school students who don't know if they want to go to the military, they want to go to college, at least they have an aspect to go work for someone or work for Amazon and work their way up that way. So that's a big reason.
What kind of characteristics do you look for? Let's go back to your college recruiting days. Like, what kind of students, and like, what were you looking for in order to have that student fit the company that you represent?
So for me, so I worked with a program called EOF, Educational Opportunity Funds, and I worked with a program called Las Vias. So what EOF was for first-generation college students who were underprivileged. A lot of times for them, I looked for them were first-generation college students, were eligible for financial aid, but I wanted to look for students for the summer program who wanted to be there, who wanted to like increase their knowledge, who wanted to have mentors that wanted to do more. So I got a lot of good students, especially with the Las Vias group. That was more for Hispanic students. So they didn't have to have financial aid. A lot of my students were DACA students, were the Dreamer students. But those students, that was a first year program that we started, and I was able to bring in 25 Latino students.
That's awesome.
All of them were from Cumberland County area, so Vineland, Millville, Bridgeton. Some of them from like Shalicott as well, but they were probably my best group I had, and all of them finished their freshman seminar they had, just trying to get them to transition from the summer, from being a senior in high school to a freshman in college. So I wanted my students, the students that were coming in, to be able to know that they have a support system. We'll hold your hand through your next 2 years, but we just need you to work a little harder too as well. So that's what I look for my students that want the help. So when I come out and say, hey, I did the same thing. I went to community college. I went to a 4-year school, and look where I'm doing now. And them students be like, and they want to come up to you and say, hey, I want to be similar. I want to be like you. I want to be able to work hard and do everything I need to do, get the experience and do more like that. So that's the students I look for. And a lot of times I've been getting my 25 students. They come in my office every day. They're just picking my brain about things, what they should do, where they should get a job, and things like that. So that's what I love about my students. They actually want to come there and they want to learn.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that you being right here in the community of Millville and you going through it, they look at you as if someone that has the expertise, and you can build that trust with them because you're going through and you've seen everything that they may happen to experience throughout their lifetime. So I think that's awesome. And we're coming to Miami to get some lemon pepper wings.
Yeah, we're definitely doing it. You tried to get lemon pepper wings last night at the establishment. I don't think they would have said.
Here's what they did. In my mind, I'm thinking of what these lemon pepper boneless wings are supposed to look like. When they arrived, it looked like they just threw a whole bunch of lemon pepper seasoning on some chicken nuggets. I'm looking like, what am I supposed to do with this? And then she didn't even bring me a fork. I'm like, listen. Like she wanted me to have my hands full of lemon pepper.
I think it had something to do with the fact it took you like 30 minutes to order.
It took a little, well, she didn't give me a menu.
Yeah, but you still had the menu. You still took 30 minutes to order.
I was being petty. I wanted her to wait for me. Absolutely. I wanted her intentionally to wait. Now, what's interesting is that you had like fried pickles and you had wings, right? And then you had some beverages, right? I had a couple beverages, and all I had was the lemon pepper. And our bill was identical. I'm like, this can't even be right. How you get more food than me and our bill's still the same?
She was being petty. She put
She probably
the extra
was.
drink on you at that.
She probably was.
That's funny. Stacey, if you go out with your husband, right, and does he take a long time to order, first of all?
No,
He's quick.
Yeah.
So if you go out with anybody, are you going to wait for them? Is it customary that you should wait for the person to put your order in? Let's say you're really, really hungry.
The only time I've ever not done that is when my kids are there and I know we're going to be sitting there for a while. I'll get their food put in first and then we'll look at the menu. So we've done that a few times.
No. You
like
out with
adults?
friends.
No,
Yeah.
I wait.
Why?
Well, it's rude.
You listen. We all know we're going to a restaurant.
Yes.
You all know you're supposed to order food at a restaurant.
Well,
Why
I'm
are
not-
we sitting
30
there?
30 minutes I might have something to say. Like, come on, I'm starving. Like, let's go. But
I passed
wait.
I
I
passed
can
him
wait.
the menu. He still wasn't ready. I'm not going to wait for him.
I ain't expecting to wait. So
you didn't
because if
expect
I'm
to?
hungry, no, I'm going to order. I know what I want. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's having some difficulties.
Right.
Maybe he needs the text to speech option on the menu so he can actually be able to understand what's going on.
So you put your order in, and do you wait for everyone to get their food before you start eating?
yeah, but usually it all comes out at the same time for the most part.
No.
I
Never
guess
happened.
where I go the wrong spots then.
Not at my table.
Uh-uh.
I put my food in first. It's coming out first. It's first in, first out. Sergio, you know all about that. You go in the inventory. It's first in, first out.
So if yours is at the top of the waiter's paper, yours better be served first.
Oh, absolutely.
Even if they bring the whole tray out at the same time.
We're going to have a conversation.
Okay.
Yes.
It kind of makes sense to
Yeah,
me.
it's going to
He's
be
going to need a
conversation.
disclaimer anyway. We should get him a shirt everywhere he goes.
You put the disclaimer on your shirt.
Just walk around with this
That's
thing.
it.
So when I walk in,
Work,
they hand me the menu,
restaurants.
I just hand them my little card. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
all right, we're going to put a disclaimer on my business card. That's what we're going to do. On the back of it, we're going to have a disclaimer.
I played myself with the business cards too, by the way.
Give me another box. I'm like, yo, I didn't get rid of the first box.
Well, the Vista Print.
I feel like I'm on a
right?
block right now. You just keep giving me stuff.
So Vista Print, they have this option where you can reorder what you've already done. And I wasn't really paying attention. Our business cards look the same for the most part, and the names are different. And I clicked hurry up, paid the little money, whatever. And then they was like, your card didn't go through. I was like, wait a minute, I forgot I closed that one card. So I put the other card in. And then I was like, all right, cool. So 9 days later, the business cards come. Open up the thing. Let's see Kareem Spence on there. I was like, these mother jokers. So I had to order another pair for myself.
Why is your wallet so big? What is in there?
Nothing.
You gotta hold up for the camera.
It's all about.
You gotta hold up for the camera.
It's about
now
appearance.
keep it folded because that thing sit about maybe 3-4 inches.
It's about appearance.
So that means that you have more money than me because this.
All this is medical cards in here.
You going to the doctor after this?
More medical card. I don't have a black card in there like you do.
All right, so my wallet is I don't know what you have in yours.
I feel like this commercial.
Stacey,
What's in your wallet?
How big is your husband's wallet?
My
How big is your wallet?
Mine's
Where's
like
your
a-
Merce at?
That's a big wallet.
We got to bring the guy in so he can
Mine's
talk about the
beat up,
Merce.
too.
George, you got to come on the
I've
show.
got
You
a
talk
big
about the
one.
Merce.
I don't know. Mine is kind of
See,
thick.
you got a thick one too.
Okay, now what is in that?
All right, so what's in here? So I just finished up my stint. So I was I'm a reservist in the Air Force, but I was in Delaware for my SCP. So
You got a weapon in there? What you, he went military on it. You got a weapon in there?
These are all my permits for all the vehicles so I can drive. So I can drive like a school bus. I can drive 3 types of forklifts. I can drive this K-loader. Basically, I could put like big pallets on. So I could drive like a bunch of stuff. So they're all my permits I got to take back to my unit so they can put it on a license so I can just get one paper, not
Gotcha.
12 I have in my wallet.
That's a new segment.
So I have to
What's
have
in
them
your
with me
wallet?
at all times. So if like they call ADSEP, so it's like the safety patrol. They come around saying, "Do you have your papers on you?" Like, yes, sir. It's right here somewhere.
But
It's
you
in
have
here.
like papers like sticking out at the very top of your wallet.
Yeah, that's all of them.
That's
Yeah,
all.
that's all. They couldn't just give me one paper. They had to give me 12.
Yeah, so what's in your wallet?
What do you have, Stacey?
I just have credit cards, medical cards.
See,
Medical
Not
cards. How many do y'all need? You got one for each kid?
No, but you have like your dental, your vision, your
Yeah.
your
I
medical.
told you the story about my dentist. We ain't got to go too deep into that. But so I'm gonna have a new card pretty soon. So shout out to the dentists that want to put cameras in people's bathrooms and stuff.
Oh, that was yours?
Shout out, yeah. Unfortunately,
Listen, now, are you going to go see him in the county and put your hand on the glass?
you stupid. Listen, coming up after this commercial break, we got T Sharp. We're gonna have her on the line.
Yes,
A
yes.
wonderful program that they got going down. I think they based out of Rutgers, Camden.
Yes.
We did have them on a podcast previously. So we're going to talk to Tatiana about the wonderful things that they are doing down there and some opportunities for some students, talking about getting them into college and preparing them for life after college as well. So we'll be back right after this commercial break. Stay empowered.
Hi, I'm Gary Monteroso, and I just love the sound of beer being poured into a glass. If you also enjoy a cold brew, then join Tara Nurin and me every week for What's on Tap. We'll bring you tasting reviews, some of the top personalities in the beverage world, and much more. Saturdays at 1 p.m. on 99.9 FM, 1240 a.m., and online at snjtoday.com.
What makes Inspira Health Network innovative? The latest in surgical robotics. What makes it inspiring? A nationally acclaimed breast center specializing in reconstructive surgery. What makes it influential, insightful, ingenious? Over 15 awards this year, recognizing Inspira's top doctors and nurses, state-of-the-art facilities, and excellence in everything from orthopedics to cancer care. It's all here in one network, and Inspira Health Network is in it for you. Visit inspirahealthnetwork.org to learn more.
Hi, I'm Gary Monteroso, and I just love the sound of beer being poured into a glass. If you also enjoy a cold brew, then join Tara Nurin and me every week for What's on Tap. We'll bring you tasting reviews, some of the top personalities in the beverage world, and much more. Saturdays at 1 p.m. on 99.9 FM, 1240 a.m., and online at snjtoday.com.
Well, all right, welcome back to the Empowerment Perspective Radio Show. I go by the name of Demiso Josie. We got the whole crew in the building. Mr. Petty's here. Stacy's in the building. We got Sergio, who's going to be leaving us soon to go down to Miami. We're going to definitely get down there for some lemon pepper wings for sure. But we, part of the show, we wanted to talk to the organizers of Team Sharp. The first time I met this lady, I have to say, Kareem, I think I've met somebody just as petty as you are, and she admitted it.
Yes.
So, Tatiana, are you there?
I am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, and as always, so excited to be on the show with you guys and to reconnect and get a chance to share about our work that we are doing.
Awesome. So let's get right into it. What exactly is Teen Sharp?
Teen Sharp is an organization that prepares talented African American and Latino students to attend and to thrive at our nation's top colleges. We are on a mission to diversify the talent pipeline in this nation, whether it comes to businesses, where it comes to government, or you name it. We are really looking to cultivate a core of diverse leaders.
Got you. And where did this come from? What was the inspiration behind setting this organization up? I believe you and your husband started the organization, correct?
That's right. We started the organization in 2009, and we launched our work in Camden, New Jersey. Working with Rutgers University in Camden to host our programming. And since then, we've been able to expand our work to the state of Delaware and preparing to expand further into the city of Philadelphia proper.
Okay, got you. So why do you feel like this was a need that needed to be fulfilled?
Absolutely. So when we look, in 2009 when we started this work and 2018 when we are at right now, the data is not much interested. When you look at access to colleges that are best equipped to support our African American, Latino students, low-income students, first-generation students who typically do not enjoy most rigorous K through 12 education and therefore are more likely to struggle when it comes to higher education. The colleges that are best equipped to support these students are the ones that do not get to admit those students. So the number of African American students, for example, at our top tier research universities, has been flat over the past 20 years at around sort of 6%. As we see it, it's a major issue of justice where the resources and the needs are completely misaligned. These top-tier institutions are also in the best position to allow our scholars who come from families that have been struggling so much and fighting and working so hard to make the ends meet, that these institutions can provide them with most generous financial aid packages such that they're attending those schools for free. And again, our scholars do not know that they exist, that these are the conditions on which they can be attending those schools. And the final point is connections and the network. By joining and attending these very privileged institutions, our students get access to the network that they would never, ever would have been able to access otherwise. And they can stand on the shoulders of the alums of these colleges to be able to break through some of the historical barriers that exist to leadership in businesses, in government. So that is why our desire to see the leadership in this country diversified, led us to the theory of action where access to these elite institutions was the central point.
Got you. So let's talk about the actual program. What does that look like? I do believe it takes place on Saturdays, correct?
That's right. So today our students, are in session, and they are in session all day today as we got our new program year started. Our programming is very intensive. I'm not going to lie, but that is what we found over the past 10 years of doing this work, that is what it takes to be able to make up for the gaps that exist, and put our students in a position so they can be admitted by those top-tier colleges. So our scholars commit to every Saturday, all day programming for the entire duration of their high school. And on those Saturdays, they take college-level classes in social sciences and in humanities. This year, for example, our scholars are taking classes like race and environmental justice, race and politics, race and philosophy, and so on. They also receive support in math, so we work to remediate the gaps, and we also accelerate the students who show, greater proficiency. Then finally, the students work with our academic advisors. We call them pre-college success managers, to develop strong habits of academic success. So we want to make sure that our scholars are achieving highly as measured by their grades, not by accident, because of a very thoughtful, structured approach to studying and to managing their time. And to building relationships with teachers and things of that sort. So that is what Saturdays entail. During the week, our students work with our pre-college success managers one-on-one and in groups to make sure that they are on track to exhibit high levels of academic achievement, that they are embracing the most rigorous classes that are available in their high schools, that they are growing as leaders, and they are developing what we call a point of excellence over the course of their high school years that they can sort of brag about when it comes to the senior year and college admissions process. For the senior class, during the commitment during the week is very extensive because we are, in the thick of the college application season, preparing to submit applications to some of the, national scholarships like Questbridge, as well as preparing early applications. So seniors are working extremely hard with our college advisor to make sure that they complete all the components of college application, that those components reflect the strategy that has been developed for each individual child, all to the end that they get admitted into the most rigorous colleges possible, that they have options to choose from, and that these options are financially feasible.
So, quick question. Before they can even access all those wonderful services, how much does it cost?
So the cost for all of this per year is, maximum cost of it is $350. So for $350 registration fee, our students become part of the program, and that amount of money is prorated for students who come from low-income families. The real cost, however, to the organization is over $5,000 per child per year, and that's the burden that our organization has to raise. And we are very grateful for many supporters, foundations and corporations, banks and whatnot, that understand the critical mission that our organization has, and who are pitching in to make sure that our students can enjoy those services.
I got you. So is there a parent component to this? I believe that last time we were talking, I think that the parents did have a class or two that they had to attend.
Yes. So we have a very close partnership with parents. Teen Sharp cannot do what it does without working very closely with parents, calibrating the advice that we give, and making sure that parents support the follow through and sort of serve as a point of accountability at home when our scholars say that they're going to do something. So to help our parents become better advocates for the students, for their children, we offer workshops, and those workshops take place every other week. So every other week, as students are in their college classes, their moms and dads and grandmoms and guardians of various sorts, they are also in classes. And they take workshops on what it means to be college ready, how to apply to college, how to select a high school, what makes a good high school good, how to maximize the teacher-parent conferences, how to build a relationship with the teacher, and so on and so forth. And every single time when a parent, their pre-college success manager, meets with our students, we also make sure that a family member is part of that conversation. So everything that we do together with parents. There is a very close relationship that we build with our families, all to make sure that we can support our students best.
So what's the wait time from the time that you actually submit the application to actually being, into the program? How long do students and parents normally have to wait?
So the admissions process typically takes a few weeks. So students submit an application. Our site manager who manages the recruitment process would reach out if there are any missing components, like the transcripts, letters of recommendations, whatnot. Then they will go through an interview process with the site manager, and after that, then the committee sits together and reviews all the data and makes a decision who to admit. So it typically takes, 3 to 4 weeks, and the admission process takes place in spring.
Gotcha. And how can people get in contact with you in regards to more information about Teen Sharp?
Absolutely. So the best way to get in contact with us is by visiting our website and contacting us by phone or by email. Both of those are available under the Contact Us page on the website. Teen Sharp's website is www.teensharp.org. That's TEENSHARP. So www.teensharp.org. Or they can call the phone number 609-227-3625, 609-227-3625, and ask questions, come visit us for a day, and make sure that they begin the process of applying in time.
Okay, so we're going to switch it up just for a little bit. Now, why haven't I got my information that I asked for about 3 weeks ago, Tatiana? I'm still waiting. Is my email not working? What's going on?
What information?
You guys supposed to send me some stuff via email, and I said, okay, I'll hand stuff out. You're supposed to send me a flyer or something.
Well, that's a major problem. We'll make sure that we get it to you today.
Yes, please. I'm taking it personal if I don't get it by 12 p.m.
You should. You're the king of the petty.
Yes,
I'm so glad that you said that, because apparently there's somebody that's close to you that also calls himself Mr. Petty as well.
Yeah,
So,
Mr. Petty
That's right.
of
That's
Delaware.
my husband.
and I'm glad that you also admitted that you're petty as well. I appreciate your honesty. Are you still being petty?
Listen. Compared to y'all, I'm an angel. When it comes to those matters.
You can't put me in that category.
My petty doesn't even count as petty compared to your petty.
Well, I'm glad that you grouped us all together, because we were actually talking about putting out a disclaimer just for me. But no, it has to be everybody. We're all a group.
That is too funny. Well, give us that website one more time before we let you go.
Absolutely. It's www.teensharp.org, www.teensharp.org.
All right. Thank you so much. And please get Mr. Petty his flyers, please, because I'm going to hear about it for the next
Yes, we
month or so.
will.
All right. Take care.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. That was Teen Sharp. They're a great organization. Now I'm glad to see that they're expanding to Delaware. They're looking at other spots as well. Sergio, I saw you shaking your head a lot over there. Anything resonating with you when she was talking about the things that she was talking about?
So from hearing what she said, I love her program, and I love that she gets her parents involved, because that's something that, as a recruiter for myself, that I try to do. So the only way I always say the best way a student's going to be successful is if the parents involved as well. They have to have that family background supporting them. A lot of my students that I have, a lot of my students are Latino. A lot of them my students are Latino, African American, and they struggle with that. They come to my office and they're like, oh, my mom is being this or my dad is being this, but the parents don't understand, or they're like, my parents don't want to give me their financial aid information. How am I supposed to get through with this? So a lot of times I'll tell them, hey, let me get your parents' phone number, and I'll talk to the parents. Say, hey, look, there's nothing wrong with this. It's like nobody's gonna steal your identity. It's getting your son or your daughter to be able to go to school. They're starting them to get funding. So that's always a problem I have every year with multiple students, and I've had a lot of which is awesome. I had a lot of guidance counselors that they get involved as well, and they'll go to the house